I hope that this book will be seen as part of the process by which we work out what went wrong and what we need to do to fix the problems. We've come so far since I first started coaching soccer more than 40 years ago, and I hope in this book to tell enough stories and share enough experiences from those 40 years to give a sense of just how far soccer has come in this country, and how honored I've been to have played a role in that progress. One example is the fact that millions of Americans, including me, cared enough about soccer to feel pained that our great country will not be represented in Russia. One of the key problems with soccer in the United States right now is the inability to make a distinction between making money and developing the sport. We've pretended that the two goals are the same, when in fact they're only somewhat related. For years, the challenge seemed to be to find a way to have a viable North American professional soccer league, which was rightly seen as the foundation for continuing to move soccer forward in the United States. People were understandably haunted by the memory of the North American Soccer League, launched in 1968 and featuring the likes of Pelé and Franz Beckenbauer, and, if I'd agreed to a contract, a young backup goalkeeper named Bruce Arena. A league that drew millions of fans, but which ultimately folded in 1984. Fast forward to Major League Soccer, which was founded in 1996, and which found itself in financial trouble as early as 1999. That was the year when MLS hired as its commissioner Don Garber, whose background was in NFL marketing, not soccer. Don has done a good job running Major League Soccer as a business. The league keeps expanding. It's on firm financial footing. Many clubs have built fine, soccer-only stadiums, and fans around the country can look forward to a steadily improving level of play. My 1997 and 1998 DC United teams were as good as any teams in the history of the league, but overall, the level of play is clearly better and will continue to improve. The question is, are we headed in the right direction? Is the sole purpose of MLS to make money, to build itself into a fabulous sports business like the NFL, or is it also to provide the foundation for the United States to build itself into a true world soccer power? I think most fans of U.S. soccer would see it as both. It's time to do far more to give young players a way forward, not just at the youth level, but at the young professional level. The whole relationship between the United States Soccer Federation, U.S. Soccer for short, and Major League Soccer needs to be reworked and rethought. By the time you listen to these words, the U.S. Soccer Federation will have a new president, but I'm afraid I have to say that both U.S. Soccer and Major League Soccer need leadership that is more focused on the sport. It's great to establish a strong financial footing, and MLS has done that, but the decision-makers at both the Federation and MLS need to become much more acquainted with the technical side of the sport, that is, the sport of soccer itself, not soccer just as a business. If you want to be successful on the field of play, that needs to carry over into every decision you make. Every single thing you do should be done with an eye on how to give your team or sport an edge. If that means hosting a World Cup qualifying game against Mexico in Alaska, then maybe you give that some thought. It makes me think of something David Beckham said for this book. All great players need a ruthless streak that runs through their veins, and all great managers need that. And that's what Bruce has as well, he said. He's right. To build a championship team, you have to have an edge, an intensity, that may rub some people the wrong way. You're not always going to win friends, but people will respect you for it. Our soccer leadership in this country needs more of an edge. It needs to be on a mission, focused on making the hard choices that help get our sport over the top competitively. After our setback in Trinidad, I was accused of not talking enough about the fact that the sky was falling. I called the loss a blemish, which didn't go over well. I think people wanted to see me weeping or screaming. Believe me, I felt like it.